Hi and good evening, and a very warm welcome to all of you. We have friends and family of Shwetas in the house, and this is a wonderful, wonderful house full of love. So I have to say that I invited myself to host the proceedings. Shweta is very shy and never likes to ask anyone to do anything for her, but I invited myself because I'm mainly a host and I just direct whenever I get some free time. And so I decided to do this because I love and adore Shweta, and I have grown up with her. Both of us grew up and we got really close as children because we had one common factor. That was the bullying of Abhishek. We were both bullied, though we were both much older than Abhishek was. And I think Auntie Jay will tell us more stories than what she might remember. But I remember that we actually bonded when we were both tied to a tree trunk while the others were playing. Why we were tied to that tree trunk, only Abhishek will be able to tell you. And when I turned up to Shweta's birthday party in a Superman costume, though there was no theme that particular day, my mother, of course, was misinformed and sent me looking like Superman. So I have many, many memories of Shweta. But what I do know about Shweta is that she is an exceptional, exceptional talent. She's always stayed away from the spotlight, though everyone who's close to her and knows her well knows that possibly the best actor in the family is Shweta. Her ability to tell a story, her ability to narrate an incident, her ability to mimic many, many leading lights of the film industry, which they may never know of or never see because Shweta is that shy. But I always knew that she was talented, exceptionally astute, amazingly observant, and actually has a sense and an ability to write so beautifully that I knew, and I was not surprised the day I knew that she turned columnist, and then finally she turned author. When I read Paradise Towers, I knew that it was really a huge loaf of life, not just a slice, but a loaf of life. Everything that she's keenly observed, having lived in Delhi, having lived in Mumbai, having traveled the world, and mainly the way she addresses the characters, the way she actually points the nuances of human behavior is all there. Apart from that, her exceptional wit and her storytelling expertise is all there for you to see. Shweta, I wish you all the best for your debut venture into the literary world. And I'm sure that there will be many, many more, and you will do your father and your grandfather tremendously proud. Give it up for Shweta Bachchan, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, who better than her iconic and legendary parents to do the honors today? Both of them leading lights of the film fraternity, exceptional actors, exceptional entertainers, and possibly the most amazing people I know in the movies. They're like parents to me, and I'm very, very grateful to have known them in my growing years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shweta's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Amitabh Bachchan, Mrs. Jaya Bachchan, and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan on stage. All right, now that we have Mommy and Papa on stage, we'd like the Renaissance girl, as I call her, on stage. The spotlight is all yours. Yes, come. Shweta, come here. Okay. How nervous are we today?
Very.
You have anything else to add to that one-word reply that you gave me, considering you're meant to be amazing with words?
No. Not right now.
Not right now? All right, okay. Okay, we'd like to unveil the book, ladies and gentlemen, and for that, I would request Mr. and Mrs. Bachchan to please do the honors. Yes.
It's there.
आप यहाँ आ जाओ। अमिताभ, if you come here, you'll get a permission. आप यहाँ आ जाओ। पहले आप ले। Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well done, Shavana ji. We love you. Jayanti, I would love to ask you what you're feeling at this moment. She said, "Good Lord," before I gave you the mic.
Good evening. Sorry for coming in late. Sorry, Shweta. Sorry, Karan. We got held very badly in traffic. I knew she would do this. Since she was a child, I knew she would someday write. Mother's instinct. What else? You just asked me one question.
You have nothing else to add to that? You knew she would write. Mother's instinct, that totally we all knew she would write. In fact, I was hoping that one day she'll act, but that won't happen.
I think that she's very inspired by your screenplay writing.
Oh, me?
Yes, because the way you detail your characters, I think that's what she's done in this book. I was actually quite surprised, and I keep saying, Shweta, is this character that person we knew? Is this character? She says, no, Mom, no.
She's totally lying. They're all real people. And she's just not telling us. She's inspired by many people, and people perhaps is sitting in this room here. You'll never know, they may have found their way into her book. Even I feel some of the characters are very close to people that I think you and I both know. We'll discuss that later, Auntie Jaya, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Amit Uncle, may I please ask you what you're feeling at this moment?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having us here. It's a moment of great pride and honor, very emotional for parents to be at the launch of their daughter's book. As a father, I feel very privileged because she's my daughter, and daughters have a special place in my heart. I wish her all the very best. All I can say for the moment is I'd endorse what Karan said a little earlier on, that she really is the best actor in the family. Every time we go through some kind of a moment in the day, during any event, there's always a little family meeting at the end of the event at home. And she takes over and does a takeoff on everyone that was present there. I do look forward to this evening when she will do a takeoff on tonight's event. She's also very perceptive about observation, and I do rely on her many a times, as does the rest of the family, on many incidents that may happen within the city, within the home, within the country, within the world. She has an opinion. Many a times we discuss, I do, the outcome of a film that I may have done or a film that she may have seen. And I have to say that she's always been right. When she says that a film is going to do well, it does well. When she says it's not going to do well, it turns out exactly right. So many a times I have begun to share some of my scripts. I'm afraid I couldn't do many of them earlier on, and I want to be excused for that. But recently, though, she has been extremely helpful, very perceptive in giving me ideas and thoughts on what I was working on. I can only give you my love and my blessings, Shweta, and thank you so much, all of you, for being here today to encourage her to grow, not just as my daughter, but as a woman and as a lady. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amit Uncle. And may I also now please request you to read your favorite passage from the book for all of us. It would be an absolute honor. Thank you. Want that off?
Shweta asked me to read certain portions of the book. She wanted me to read the prologue. I'll do a bit of that, and then a small portion inside the book as well. So in a leafy Mumbai suburb, on the very turn of a U-bend, stood the handsome structure of Paradise Towers, a residential building built in the late 60s as the last word in modern convenience. By modern, the builders meant that it had an elevator with a designated liftman and a garden that most bungalows would be envious of with its designated gardener. Over the years, other more modern and loftier structures came up in the area, dwarfing Paradise Towers. However, none could compete with its clean lines, meticulous planning, which kept it from flooding during the rains or its residents. The building stood a few meters from the beach, and depending on the time of day, it enjoyed either a balmy breeze or the stench of drying fish. The road it stood on was more a bylane that rarely saw any traffic besides the random vegetable vendor and fisherwoman who, with their baskets on their head, crossed over to their fishing village via the building twice a day.